Ready?
Ready, Freddy.
Welcome to Stupid Movies, where we watch them so you don't have to.
Yep.
Take two?
Take two. Let's do take two.
Take two?
Take two.
Take two.
Two takes.
Two takes.
Two takes.
Welcome to Stupid Movies, where we watch them so you don't have to.
Yeah! And today... Is that more enthusiastic?
That was much better.
Okay. Today we watched Terror Trips.
Yes.
2021, not rated, 87 minutes long. And this was directed by Jeff Seaman and starred some familiar faces. We got Hannah Fearman, who was in VHS, and several other indie movies. You got Damien Maffei. I think that's how you say it. Maffei.
No.
Sorry, dude. Abigail Esmina, Kate Kiddo. We love horror movies, obviously. So we want to go visit locations. And we go and we trip on our way there. And it was terrifying. So we decided to name our show Terror Trips. What happens when we go look at horror locations?
You're such an ass.
You love it.
So Terror Trips is about a company called Terror Trips that sets up excursions to filming locations from horror movies. So it's basically horror tourism. They find this new movie, they're like, oh, this is really cool. We're going to go there and set this up as one of our locations. And they get there, and Eli Roth lives there, and he kidnaps them and starts killing them off one by one.
We love horror movies, obviously. So what did we like about Terror Trips? The first thing I will say, that the reason I chose this and the reason I was drawn to it is the poster artwork. Like, it looks like something from a VHS tape back in the 80s. Just the way it's, like, drawn. It drew me in. I was like, man, that looks like it could be a lot of fun. So I just had to say that right up. That artwork can make a big difference in the appeal.
Yeah.
This had great artwork.
This had great artwork.
Absolutely.
I actually like the concept of... they're basically using this movie to draw in horror nerds to harvest their organs. Cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, and it would absolutely work.
I love the horror movie shout-outs in this. You know, which is, it was cool. It's like Friday the 13th. It's an appreciation. And the story is based around, like, horror fans who love it and they consider themselves cinephiles or whatever. And
I got the feeling that the writers, at the very least, were real horror fans.
Yeah.
It wasn't the, you know, your half-ass, like, oh, we lived on Craven Lane sort of shout-out that most movies like this do. They were really doing, like, we love horror movies. Here you can see, I mean, it's like listening to a discussion with us.
Yeah.
Where we're just like, oh, dude, you remember that movie when that lady got pulled in half? That was great.
Speaking of that, there's a Joe Lynch shout out.
Yes.
Which was awesome. The girl's like, I love Joe, you know, I have an obsession with Joe Lynch movies. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah, Joe Lynch rocks.
Dude, we love watching his. Joe Lynch, we love you.
We love you, Joey.
Rob wants to have your baby.
Maybe.
I had in my mind that this was an anthology. It is not.
No, it's not.
Even close.
No.
Anything resembling an anthology.
It's a one-thology.
A one-thology. But it was really good. Really well done. I got nothing else. That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I will say that there was one really good slit throat.
Oh, yeah.
Comes up behind the guy. That was really good and looked pretty good.
What don't we like?
Yeah, what don't we like about Terror Trips? I don't like it when I go somewhere. I don't like it when I trip.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
This was good. This isn't really my taste in movies.
Right.
I'm not into the torture porn genre, which is, I would put this there, even though they don't really show a lot of torture.
Yeah.
It's more like a torture tease.
Yeah, it kind of has, like Eli Roth vibes. It reminded me kind of like Hostel.
Yes.
Where they go to
a lot.
Another country, but this wasn't nearly as graphic or violent, I don't feel like.
Right.
You know, where those are, I mean, I like them. They're not my cup of tea, really, either, but like I like Hostel 1 and 2. Those, you know, but those are extreme, and that's why it works. This one was really lacking that aspect of it.
You said earlier that it was very dry.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great description. There's just not a lot of blood and guts in this. And yeah, I'm with you. I don't really like torture porn. It's not my genre. Nothing against it. I can appreciate it. It's
an
just
acquired
not my
taste.
thing.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, when I do watch it, I'm watching it for the gore.
Right.
And nothing else.
Yeah, to make you uncomfortable.
Right.
And be like, ugh. And this
didn't have that.
And honestly, I wish it was an anthology. I think this would have been more fun instead of just what it was. Because I feel like this could have been a short.
Yeah.
You know? It would have been more fun being an anthology. Like, I was disappointed by the villains in this. Yeah. Like, I didn't know what it was going to be. I went into this movie pretty much blind. And I'm like, okay, cool. They're going to travel. Something's going to happen while they're at this location. I wish it would have been more of a, a slasher movie or, even Supernatural I would have taken over it just being these people harvesting organs. Yeah. I mean, it's a good concept, but like you said, it was missing any of that, like, to make it fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. For some reason, I had it in my head that, like, when they got to where they were going and they were camping, my brain said the main movie takes place while they're camping and they're sitting around telling stories, and it's gonna bopping in and out from an anthology that way.
I would have preferred that.
That would have been really cool. The main woman behind everything looks like Miss Turnbull from Matilda.
Yeah,
I just couldn't take her serious.
Yeah.
And nothing against her. She's a good actress. She did very, very good in the role. But the whole time I was just like, but Miss Honey's going to come to save them. I'm not worried.
The villains they were weak. They didn't feel threatening to me. They weren't scary. When I realized,
this is what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I would have taken a ghost movie over that.
And when you see one of your villains start crying, like full on bawling,
takes away.
You're not threatening anymore to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The poster art makes it look like you go into this abandoned building and there's going to be someone or something in there. So that's what I was, I think, expecting, and it just wasn't that. And that was just
none of that.
No, and it was really slow for me. Like nothing really happened until over halfway in, and then you realize what's going on, and it's just like, really, this is all it is. Wow. It's fine. Like, some people are going to like that, but for me, it's just.
I think this would have been better done staying with the characters at all times.
Yeah.
Because there were quite a few times where they basically go away from the main characters and start focusing in on the villains and their discussions. And that, again, that takes away any tension from them because you've made them human. And it over-explains what's going on.
Yep.
I don't say that very often, but I felt like it was over-explained. I would have rather we stayed with the characters the whole time and not known what was going on and have to piece it together as we go like they did. And with that, you are a bunch of fucking horror fans. You had a straight conversation about how stupid it is to split up in horror movies and then turned around and did it multiple times.
Yeah.
You even point out, you have a whole conversation about how it's a bad idea to split up.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and do it.
Yeah. It's not really a horror movie. It was more of like a suspense drama thriller. It really lacks blood and gore. It lacks, body count. There's not much. I don't know. It just was not exciting or fun.
Or tense. It lacks tension. Rob, final thoughts on this movie?
Disappointing movie. Everything about it was fine. Like, production value wise, acting was fine and everything. I mean, it was well done in that regard. It just wasn't fun. It was boring to me, and the villain sucked. So I'm gonna give this one 3 out of 8. What about you, dude?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
it was like baby's first Eli Roth. It was fine. You know what other 4-letter word starts with F? Like fine? 4. Which is 1 point higher than what I'm giving this, which is 3 out of 8.
All right. So if you've seen Terror Trips, you know the routine. Let us know down in those comments. Hit that like, subscribe, tell your friends, blah, blah, blah.
Tell us we're wrong.
Tell us we're wrong. If you did like it, tell us why you liked it or whatever. And, if you like us, head over to Facebook.com/StoopidMovies, Instagram @StoopidMovies, @TheHorrorPunk. You can also email us at StoopidMovies@Outlook.com.
The words are hard and I'm dumb.
Bye. So, since we blew our load on our likes, that sounded... So, never mind. Take that out.
Squishy.
Ew! Salty salts. What was I saying?